Welcome to Behind the Veil. Now, here is your transformational coach, Tammy Hawks.
Ooh, wow.
I said some interesting words. What'd I say?
You said my anxiety and my depression.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And when you say words like that, you know what your subconscious mind does. Says, ooh, we can't get rid of this. This belongs to us.
Well, you'll never get rid of it.
What?
If you have anxiety and depression, you can never get rid of it. You can learn.
That's a belief.
You can. I don't think you can get rid of it. I think you can. I think you can control it.
That's a belief, though.
Well,
I don't believe that at all.
No.
Nope.
See, but
Because
something could trigger it.
Let's look at what anxiety is. What is anxiety? Anxiety is a pattern of fear-based thoughts that has created such momentum that it's gone.
Right.
And now you're swirling in anxiety, depression, feeling powerless to change it. But that is absolutely a belief because you can. I have had clients that have gotten rid of their anxiety. Now, if you have the pattern that is so deeply installed that it is kind of your set point, you kind of go back to the fear-based thinking. It's much easier to connect to. But once you get it's all patterns of thought.
Yeah.
Anything, a belief is just a thought you keep thinking. And can you change a thought?
Yeah.
Okay, so then you can change a belief.
True.
Okay, so then just because you've had anxiety at some point in your life, does that mean you are destined to continue and you'll always have it?
No, but there are things that have happened that have brought it back before. I mean, when I read The Secret, that helped me a lot. That helped me big time.
Yeah.
And then when a guy I grew up with, him and I were good friends because he went in the Marine Corps shortly after me. He became a sheriff's deputy, and it was all over national news. Him and another deputy were shot and killed years ago, and my anxiety went off the charts. I mean, I was having panic attacks. I thought I was having a heart attack. I can't tell you how many times my wife called the ambulance because I thought I was having a heart attack, and it was just the anxiety kicking in. One of my top sponsors, because he even said, well, let's meet for lunch. And this is before we have our first meeting. He said, let's meet at Panera Bread in Abingdon. I'm like, yeah, because that's where my buddy was shot and killed. I was like, nah, can we go somewhere else? He said, what about Aberdeen? I said, that's fine. And we met at the Panera. But I mean, I was like watching everywhere. And to this day, now this is something I learned in the Marine Corps, but to this day, when I go to a restaurant or something, I will never sit with my back towards the door. But I think that's the Marine in me because that's something we were always taught.
Well, yeah, and we can get to the bottom of that. Okay, so anxiety is just a fear, right? Fear that has created such momentum that it is very, very strong, right? What's the fear?
For that situation?
What are you in fear of?
Right now?
In that situation.
In that situation, just everybody around you. Because you never, I mean, all he did, he got a call to go
what are you scared of in that moment?
That somebody could be around the corner just going off the wall and just open fire.
And then what would happen?
I'd be the one to probably jump in the way and protect whoever they were shooting at.
And then what would happen?
I would get killed.
Okay,
or wounded.
So then the fear is?
I guess if it's not dying, I guess the fear would be protecting someone, but that shouldn't be a fear. Should it?
Nope, that's not the fear. You almost said it.
I guess I would think the fear is expecting the unimaginable in a way.
Which would be what?
Somebody shooting at somebody and you're there. I mean, it's not a good feeling to have. I've been there.
I think it's the fear of death. It's the fear of dying.
Yeah, I mean, now that you mentioned it, yeah, because there's too many things I haven't done yet
Right.
that I want to
And
do.
so if there's this fear of death, like when is it going to happen? If we look at death, right? Because a lot of
Yeah.
people, human beings have a lot of judgment about death. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
We all know that we come in and then we go out. And what happens in that time in between could be anything, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, why do we have this fear or judgment about when we exit, how we exit?
Right.
Why? That's what we get to look at. Because when we unpack our fears and we say, okay, what if I didn't have any expectation or care or concern about what time I exit
Yeah.
or how I exit? How would I live my life? Because if this fear is crippling you, look at it like this. You have all this fear crippling you, taking you to your knees, robbing you of your peace.
Mm-hmm.
What are you getting out of that? So here you are just expecting this thing. You're all tense. You're like, oh, am I going to go this way? Am I going to go? How am I going to?
Right.
Am I? Is this bus going to run me over? Or is this guy going to shoot me? And you're sitting there just in this paralyzed fear versus you just saying, who cares how it's going to happen?
Yeah.
All I know is it is going to happen, right? And you have this feeling of surrender of like, what if I just lived my life in such a free way that I didn't allow myself to get crippled by a state of anxiety ever again? And see, that's what happens when we start to surrender and start to deal with the trauma in our body, because your body is just in this constant state of fight or flight.
Mm-hmm.
So, my goal for you today is to pull some of that negative charge out of an event that you have in your system on your track that will allow for the most freedom,
Okay.
where you could live in a state of peace the majority of the time.
Okay.
Would that be delicious?
That'd be awesome because June is my birthday and I'll be 62, and that's an age I'm really nervous about.
Why, you had a parent that died at 62?
My older brother, who was my best friend and idol.
Yeah.
Now, granted, his health was a lot worse than mine.
Well,
Yeah.
my dad died at 39. And
Wow.
so the year I was, even though I didn't have my dad's lifestyle, I didn't
Hmm.
have AIDS, I still had a really rough year at 39, like
Right.
my whole, like leading up to it. It's just a weird thing that we do. I'm like, oh, am I going to go at 39 too?
Yeah.
It's just a weird thing. But my biggest thing is not when you leave, it's how you live your life.
Right.
I don't believe that we're supposed to live in this state of fight or flight. I don't believe that. I think that we're supposed to live in this peaceful kind of state within.
Yeah.
And
No fear, just be happy.
I mean, if that was possible, wouldn't you want it?
Oh God, yeah.
And I believe that's totally possible. I would love to get you to the place where you could believe that that's possible for you.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like I said, there, and now that was several years ago when I was having those panic attacks and everything. And that, God, wow, seems like it was yesterday. And my brother, no, yeah, he passed away. I want to say 8 years ago. Man, it's weird how when you keep thinking about this stuff, where it seems like yesterday, then when you do the math, it's like, wow, it. I can't believe it was that long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
Mm-hmm.
wow. I'm getting old,
Well,
but I feel good.
the way I see it, I believe that we're eternal beings on this journey.
Mm-hmm.
That's why death doesn't scare me, because I know there is no such thing. I don't believe in that. I believe that we go from one existence to the other, but that we're eternal and that we are so much bigger than we even know.
Yeah,
So, would you let me take you through a process?
of course.
Yes. Okay. I'm going to have you get yourself in a nice, relaxed state, making your spine as straight as possible. Picture it like your spine is on this string, right? And as you pull it, you could just make it really, really straight. And as you align, and if you could make your feet nice and flat on the ground, connecting to your breath. Drawing it in. And as you draw it in, I want you to see it moving all the way down and through your body, coming all the way to the base of your spine, holding it and then letting it out. So it just sort of moves and circulates through your body down your spine. So in, hold it, exhale, one more, hold it, exhale. And I want you to become aware of a big energy ball right above your head, about an inch from your scalp, floating right above your head. This healing, beautiful energy bubble. First impression, what color is it?
Like a pale yellow.
Pale yellow, beautiful. Now I want you to imagine at the top of your head is like a moon roof. I want you to open up that moon roof. That's right. And I want you to allow in this pale yellow colored energy. And I want you to allow it to move down your body, through the top of your head, all the way down. And as it swirls down through your body, I want you to see it penetrating each and every cell. That's right. So I want you to allow it to move into your brain, filling both right and left hemispheres of your brain, moving down to fill your eyes and your ears and your nose, your jaw, your lips, your chin. That's right. Allow it to fill your entire head with this healing, magical, peaceful, loving energy, moving down your throat and your neck. That's right. Moving to your shoulders, penetrating every muscle, tissue, every strand as it moves down your arms to your elbows and your wrists and your fingers. That's right. Allowing it to relax every muscle as it moves down, putting you in this relaxing, beautiful state, filling your heart. In fact, allow it to open each and every side of your heart as this light yellow energy rushes in to fill each cell. That's right. And imagine all the cells of your body opening up to receiving this beautiful healing energy as it moves down to your stomach and your hips and your knees and your feet. And as you take a deep breath in, I want you to exhale that energy bubble to fill your entire body. That's right, like an egg shape all around your body, allowing it to go even deeper into your energy body. That's right. And as long as you're in this bubble, you're protected and you're safe and you're loved, absolutely divine. And I want you to turn your focus into your body. That's right. Move into your body. And when we had that conversation about your anxiety and your depression and this fear of death that you hold, I want you to feel into the emotions of that fear, that fear, that fear. And I want you to notice, identify, and recognize that there is a certain place in your body where this emotion stems from. First impression, place your hand on it. First impression, what color is it?
Red.
It's red. Perfect. I want you to move into that red, all the way into the very center of it. And as you do, I want you to recognize and notice, see that it's projecting out from your body, that red. And as you allow that screen that's being projected out from that red to get very, very clear, you notice and understand that there is a image on that projection. And that image is the very first time you experienced this emotion. Allow that image to get very, very clear until you can recognize and notice this memory or series of events. Let me know when you've got it.
Okay.
Yeah, you've got it. First impression, how old are you?
As a little kid, I want to say probably early teen.
Mm-hmm. Are you alone? Or are you with someone?
I'm with my younger brother
Mm-hmm.
and I'm chasing
And,
the one.
and what's happening in this image?
The one, a rock at my,
Mm-hmm. And what are you doing in this image?
chasing him down.
Mm-hmm. And what color is around you? What energy bubble do you have around you in your early teens here in this image? Green. Okay, I want you to move into that green energy bubble and I want you to literally take on the emotions of this younger version of you. What are you feeling right here in this moment?
Anger,
Mm-hmm.
anger, and I guess sorrow,
Mm-hmm.
but anger because I take the boy to hit him with the rock and just wallop him
Mm-hmm. And why do you want to hurt him?
because he hurt my brother.
Mm-hmm. I want you to tune into the sorrow you're feeling, the pain that you're feeling for your brother. I want you to tune into that. What are you feeling sad about in this image for your brother?
Him
Mm-hmm.
crying.
Mm-hmm.
It's worse yet that
Mm-hmm. So I want you to tune into your energy. What are you angry about?
he hurt my brother. I'm angry that he hurt my brother, but or
Mm-hmm.
not sad, but worried because I left my brother, knowing that I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to get
So you're going to get in trouble.
that happening.
You're going to get in trouble for not protecting your brother.
Yeah,
Why would you get in trouble for not protecting your brother?
older brother. I'm his older.
Who told you that it was your job to protect him? Why do you
Come to
believe
think
that
of it,
it's your job to protect him?
my older brother always protected me.
Mm-hmm. Are you feeling any sort of guilt that this happened to your brother?
Hmm.
Yeah. I want you to feel into that guilt. What does that guilt feel like?
I feel like I could have done better. Stopped it. I don't even know why it has all down there playing.
Mm-hmm. What else? What else? What else are you believing about yourself? If you can feel into you in your early teens in this moment, what are you believing about yourself right now in this moment?
I'm a failure.
What else are you believing about yourself in this moment?
That if I catch the kid,
What else are you believing about yourself in this memory,
that
in this moment? Mm-hmm. What else are you believing about yourself in this moment? Mm-hmm. What are you scared of?
a couple things. Scared of how my brother's doing, but I'm also
Mm-hmm. What else are you believing about yourself in this moment? Mm-hmm. Why do you feel like a failure? So, this young version of you believed that it was up to you to control other people. Mm-hmm. I want you to look deep into your younger version's eyes, early teens. I want you to connect with him. I want you to look deep, deep, deeply into his eyes. And I want you to tell him that it was never his responsibility to protect anyone else, that he literally does not have control over anyone else or anything else, but only the way he perceives it. I want you to tell him that you've come all the way back from the future to be with him in this moment. What does he need to hear from you right here, right now?
believe in yourself. You cannot
Mm-hmm.
be nice. Get rid of the anger.
Mm-hmm. Anger. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and I just hear me tell him chill out.
Mm-hmm. Well, anger stems from pain. So I want you to let him feel his pain because right here in this moment, you have this beautiful opportunity to feel it for him. And if he's angry, that means he's holding on to a lot of pain and he's masking it with anger. So I want you to allow him to remove the anger and to reach even deeper to the pain. In fact, I want you to feel it for him. I want you to let him know that he is you and you are one. And that as he feels that pain resides within you. And I want you to allow that pain to bubble up. And I want you to feel it until it's fully emoted, removing it from both of you. So I want you to move through that red bubble. Like threading a needle, we're going to move through it until it is fully emoted. And I want you to allow this young boy to feel his pain, knowing that it sits in him until it is fully emoted. I want you to allow it to move out via you. It only takes 90 seconds to feel it fully before it is dissolved fully. So I want you to feel into this pain. What's coming up? Yes. Beautiful. Mm-hmm.
It's like
Beautiful.
peaceful.
Yeah. Is there anything he needs to hear from you in order to let go of this anger and pain? Mm.
that I love you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Anything else? Mm.
Seems strange with a younger version of,
Mm-hmm.
but it's
Mm-hmm. And he still resides within you,
yeah.
always, always with you. In fact, I would love for you to let him know that you'll always be here for him. And if you could come up with a code word or a symbol or a signal in which he could let you know that he needs you, come up with some way that he can let you know that he needs you, that you could come back here to be with him whenever he calls. Let me know when you've done that. You got it?
Uh-huh.
What is it? So now you know whenever you hear that and he calls to you, that you get to come be with him because he's letting you know that he's experiencing pain, that you get to walk with him through. He needs you.
He's happy, he smiles
Oh, beautiful. Hmm. And what would you like to say to him?
that I love him.
Hmm. Hmm. Beautiful.
That's something
Well,
that's never
beautiful. Yep, you got to let it out. Let it come up and out.
I feel, I've always ignored my younger brother because I've always looked up to my older brother.
Hmm.
And now that my older brother's not around anymore, I feel like I'm trying to replace my older brother with my instead of being
And who's the brother you should be?
myself.
Hmm. Yeah, well, here are the two um, commands that I found, that you're a failure and it's all your fault. How often do you find yourself saying or believing that?
Not as much as
How often do you feel responsible for fucking things up?
every once in a while, not a lot. I mean, little things like
Well,
nothing.
you've worked on yourself quite a bit though,
Right.
right?
Yes. Yeah.
But
Like,
even what I find, even with my clients, when we work on ourselves, though those we call them life commands. It's really
mm-hmm.
those strong limiting beliefs. They still come up. Like pretty much every time I have an altercation with someone, my commands come up. I have less. I have less fights with people because I've gone through so much of my healing journey, but they still
Right.
come up when I go through those high states of negative emotion. So it's just something for you to be aware of and for you get to tell yourself every day everything that you told your younger self.
Mm-hmm.
Believe in yourself. You're not responsible to protect everyone, right?
Yeah.
Um, it's not your fault and you're not a failure. Because, see, we think it's up to us to control. Like for me, I am a natural controller because that's how I survived my family of origin. So
Right.
then as an adult, I was like you. I felt like it was my responsibility to protect everyone else. You know, that was what was instilled in me very young. And I had to come to the place where I realized that it was not my responsibility to protect everyone because we all came here to experience our own life experience, right? Our
Mm-hmm.
own purpose. And sometimes that means we have to experience pain.
Yeah.
And pain isn't bad. It's not good, bad, right, or wrong. It is just what can launch us into the next thing. Like, look at what you do now. Everything that you experience in life led you to your purpose work.
Right.
So we get to see it for what it's given us and understand that it's not bad.
Yeah.
Right? So what came up for you? Any new things come up for you?
The weird. I've never. I can't tell you the last time I thought about that moment with my younger brother, where the kid took the rock and actually, I, wow. I'm trying to remember now if I went back or if my younger brother made it home because it was only like a block away. But yeah, I think from that, I think that explains a lot with the anger I used to have. Because my anger used to be off the charts. I mean, to where God, even had my younger brother choking him down on the ground. Um, taking my, I used to have a walking tall stick made of locust wood, going after my sister with that, taking the
Hmm.
butt of a rifle and cracking my older brother in the head with it.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I used to have some severe anger.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it may have been because that's the earliest thing I can remember pain wise, not even pain wise, but just, being scared because I wasn't sure what happened to my brother, my younger brother. That
Hmm.
scared me. I mean, God, because we've always had death in the life, always. I, I mean, lost a lot of friends growing up through from middle school on up. You know, um, my brother, my older brother, my father would always get into fistfights. Although my older brother would never hit my father back. And but I mean, just
So abuse?
to me, no,
It's no.
not fist.
You said your brother wouldn't hit your dad back.
I mean, they would when they got into fistfights. My older brother was an adult, and
Mm.
because I mean, the cops were to that. My older brother was not a saint. He did a lot of things wrong. But yeah, my they would get in. My father would hit him, but my older brother would never hit my father back. None of us ever did. We never would hit, and I, we were taught you respect your elders, and, I guess that's why my brother never did it, and now he would push my father away, but he
But
would
was
never hit
there
him.
abuse in the home? It sounds like there was abuse.
Just
That sounds like
just if we
abuse to
did
me.
something wrong, we got a spanking. That was it. That was it.
Well, I'll just tell you as a trauma coach,
Mm-hmm.
spankings,
Mm-hmm.
they actually are abuse.
Well, yeah, I know they are. I mean, it didn't hurt. Well, take that back. When it started hurting was because remember the paddleball things?
Yeah.
So that's what we would get busted with. Well, my older brother decided to drill holes in it because it wouldn't hurt as much. It hurt more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that the holes make it more painful
Yeah.
because it goes faster.
But I do remember at times when, my, if I did something wrong and I got a spanking, I remember my father, I could hear my father in the other
Oh,
because, and I think it maybe that's the way he was brought up, which it wouldn't surprise me because you go back, I mean, basically 70s on back, that's what they did. A lot of times as kids, if you did something wrong, you got a spanking. My father grew up 30s, born in the 30s or 30s, because my older brother was born. So, I mean, that as far as that goes, that's just the spankings. That was it. Nothing else. Um,
yeah.
Not even verbal abuse.
But just in terms of what it is I do,
Yeah.
because I got spanked growing up and I didn't think anything of it until I started going into my trauma wounds. And
Right.
it's, it is, it is, whenever a parent physically puts their hands on the child, I know that that was socially acceptable. Like I totally
Right.
get that.
Right.
But it does not mean that it doesn't track as trauma. It does.
Okay.
And I'm sure your dad had, if he cried, that means he had a lot of trauma wounds.
Right.
And on the moment of conception, all your parents' DNA becomes your DNA, all their pain, all their unhealed wounds all become yours.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it goes from generation to generation, generation. It may dilute, but it's still there.
Right. Okay.
So your dad your dad's pain became yours. So
Right.
that's why you might have had all this rage inside of you and you're like, I don't even know why I had this. Could it come down from him or your mom or the lineage?
Right.
So it's all just very interesting. But I'd say if you were my client and I was giving you homework, I would really work on your affirmations, which is reminding yourself every day how perfect you are,
Mm-hmm.
that you haven't done anything wrong, you're not a failure, and that it isn't your responsibility to protect anyone else. You literally can't.
Yeah.
If I signed up, this is the way I choose to see it. I believe that I signed up before I even came here, knowing the traumas I wanted to experience and already planning the way I was going to go out. I believe that.
Hmm.
I choose to believe that because think about the peace that I believe that peace is our set point. It is natural and innate within us. But the system in which we're born to wants to instill this fear in us. Why? Because with fear, they can control us.
Hmm.
So, for that reason alone, I think it's your invitation to give it up.
Continue doing a lot of the stuff that I'm doing, in other words, and
Yeah.
add more to it.
And for you, more than anything, is following your passion.
Yeah.
For you, when you're in your passion work, how good do you feel?
Oh my God, I feel awesome.
Do more shit that makes you feel good,
Yeah.
and up and up and up your frequency will go. And then when those fear-based thoughts come in, I want you to just grab a hold of them, pretend like they're a tangible thing you could grab, see them as a color, and I want you to go like this and dissolve them. Sometimes throw it in the toilet, flush it, throw it in the trash, in the fire, any way to like tell your subconscious mind, nope, I'm not subscribing to this fear-based system, because your thoughts are creating.
Right.
It's just a matter of what would you like to create versus what shit was like handed to you and you took it on. You know, like that's what happens with people in the service is they're given. I wish we could get rid of war altogether because I think it just fucks up the masculine,
Yep.
and it fucks up society. And I wish it would go away. However, you got downloaded with a bunch of bunk ass programming that you get to just dissolve,
Yeah.
dissolve, dissolve. And as you do, you're clearing the track and we're clearing out the lineage.
I love the way you said that download it with because that's one of the things my father always said when that the Marine Corps brainwashed, which well, yeah, they do.
Everything
Yeah.
brainwashes you.
Oh yeah.
Every TV brainwashes you,
Uh-huh.
music, everything is brainwashing us. It's just a matter of, is this serving me?
Yeah.
And if it's not, then it's time to get rid of it. And if it is still serving you, then keep it. But you get to choose your own programming to the extent that you know you get to choose it,
Right.
right? If you don't know, like when we're kids, we don't know that we've been given a system and we just kind of keep that system going. But the moment we find out that it's been generated by something outside of us, we now have the choice. Do I want to keep this system or would I like a new one? For me, I was like you. I was an adrenaline junkie. Anyone who was down to fight, that's how I was raised.
Yeah.
So I thought that was normal. I was down to fight any given second until I realized that there's nothing outside of me actually coming to harm me. It's within me.
Yeah. Yeah. And today, 'cause a lot of times, guys, I even look back and it's like, why did I do that? And I look at people today that fight. It's like, why? What's it solve? It doesn't solve anything. If anything, it can make matters worse. And just looking back on all that, it's like, why did I do that?
Well, I think I told you that I come from a religious background, which I
Mm-hmm.
don't subscribe to anymore, but I still very much take things from the Bible that I find that is very helpful. And that's, love covers a multitude of sin. So
Yeah.
when someone comes at you with all this hate, if you're just like streaming love to them, and you're seeing that little child within them that is just so scared. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
see. When I see someone lashing out and they're so angry, I cover them in a love bubble and I'm choosing to see that little child within them that is just so scared. That's the reason why people fight is because they feel like they have to protect themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can just hold them in the bubble of love, all of the fear can just melt away in a moment. Yeah.
Just a
So
bubble of love.
just cover everyone in love bubbles everywhere
Yeah.
you go and you will just radiate this like delicious, peaceful, loving bubble. You'll live
Yeah.
in your bubble.
Yeah. You need to write a book about that.
You do?
No, you do. No, I'm working on my book.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I was actually with my mentor the other day and he asked me how it's coming. So it's like, yeah, I'm working on it. I promise. And I've been slowly but surely doing things to help me write it.
That's why you told me that I need to write a book.
The bubble of love. I just love that.
The bubble.
No, I've ne- if not a,
I have my ladies do that, especially with their spouse.
okay.
Wrap him up in a bubble of love. See him, literally see him as that little boy. If he's, because we all have our triggers. And when we get our triggers, we turn into this. For me, I turn into this little like demon child. And I would tell my husband, I'm like, when you see the demon child, just know like it is that 2-year-old having a tantrum within me. It's not me. I know I have this 42-year-old body now, but it's really that little girl who's like screaming out and she's scared,
Yeah.
And so I'll have them just pick him, see him at age 4 is a good age. Pick him up, scoop him up in your arms, hold him, tell him that everything's okay, that he's safe and he's loved, and wrap him up in your bubble. And they're like, they come back and they're like, I don't know what that freaking is, but it works every time. I'm like, of course it works because you are that powerful.
Yeah.
Your consciousness is your power. So when you have the intention of bringing love into anything, it's going to be the most powerful energy that anyone could ever bring. It will trump fear every single time.
I've always believed that. I mean, love is stronger than hate. Positivity is stronger than negativity. Unfortunately, hate and negativity seems like it'll breed more because so many people are focused on that, and they need to focus more on.
It depends on who's in your world. I don't find that so
No,
much
no,
in.
no. I'm talking about in general.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking
I
about
don't
in general.
yeah, I don't really tune too
That's why
much.
I don't watch the news or anything.
Yeah, me either. I'm very careful to guard my peace, and if it
Hmm.
robs me of that, or if I get caught up in any fear, it's got to go.
Yeah, I'm the same way now. It's like turn it off, turn
So
it off, or do this
you
different.
also get to stop saying my in front of anything that you don't want to keep. Never say my anxiety, never say my depression, ever.
Oh,
You say, I have experienced anxiety, I have experienced depression, but never call it my because your subconscious will never get rid of it if you put a my in front of it.
oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you say that, you're taking ownership.
Yeah.
Wow, damn, boy, I got a lot of people I could throw your way.
I'm ready. Honestly, though, it's so nice to be able to work with you,
Oh, thank you.
not only as a man, but a very open man. It's, I can't tell you how wonderful it is. It gives me
Oh,
great hope that men have someone like you to look up to hear from, to be like, this is what is available for you. Because men have been, especially a man that has been through war, has been through
hmm,
that
any
kind of
type of
shit.
trauma. Yeah.
I mean, we've all been through trauma, but the type of whenever we witness or are
Oh, I
part of
see.
like
Yeah.
taking lives and whatnot, it's another level that I don't believe we as humans were created to do and be a
Mm-hmm.
part of. I think it's super encouraging that you get to be that for people. Like it's such an honor
Oh, well, thank you.
that you let me into your world.
I think more men need to do it, to be honest with you.
Can you please talk about that? No,
Absolutely.
meaning let's get the word out about that because I men are starting to open
Yes.
and they're more open than they've been in the past generations. But I think as more men talk about this kind of stuff, it just gives more permission to like even more.
Man, I need more water. I think it is.
Yes, well, and I will tell you that you do need water after that process I took you through. It
Hmm.
is a detox process, so don't be surprised if you need a
That's why I've
lot
been
more
drinking it.
water.
Oh, yeah. I try to drink at least a gallon a day.
Oh, good. But you'll need more today. Okay, yes, send me your link and I will set that up and then I'll
Okay.
have like questions prepared for you
Okay.
cuz I don't really have them.
That's all right. I'm always ready.
Yay.
Thanks,
Thank you
Tammy.
so much for coming on. Oh,
Oh,
it
thank you
was
for having
delicious
me.
and delightful.
Thanks. Take care. Bye.
Okay, bye.